So into question and answer session. We will take 3 questions first for the first round. Please raise up your hand and line up behind the mic. Sorry? Okay, yeah. Dr. Faruq will be the first.
Thank you, Tim, for your lecture just now. I mean, I understand that the way that you're trying to portray this issue about this terrorism in Southern Thai and BNRC and so on. But I guess that there's one factor that remains sorely missing from your talk. To me, like, if you're talking about this rebellion, I would consider this as a rebellion rather than act of violence. You know, it's how you define things. You can call the Hamas and Hezbollah as freedom fighters, or you can label them as terrorists. It's how you look at it, you know, which angle you look at it. So to me, the thing that was missing was the most important narrative that what happened in the Middle East, for example, in Palestine, with Hamas and the freedom fighters over there. It started in 1916 with Sykes-Picot Agreement, right? Sykes-Picot Agreement, and I guess that defines everything. You know, it happened 100 years ago, but it's still so important for us to discuss about this at this moment. My question is that what was the Sykes-Picot version of Southern Thai? You know, you didn't dwell into that. There's a history of this rebellions against the Siamese government, and if we understand that, then only we can come to this kind of conclusion. You can't come with this kind of conclusion unless you define the actual nature of this problem. Yeah, that's my question.
I'm Shukri. My question is quite simple. In Thai, you talk about the king becoming a strong Buddhist figure. Makes me wonder, what about Dalai Lama? How's his position among Thai Buddhists? Is he influential? Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Arif. My question is, you spoke about BRN, and my question is quite simple. How is it the BRN derived the legitimacy as the representations for the Muslim South? Whereas, I mean, in the Muslim South, there is like different level of societies, and even the younger generations, they actually feel more comfortable to be under the Thai state. So yes.
Yeah, I'd say the defining event is the colonization. It's under Chulalongkorn. Yeah, when Siam settled with, it's going to be torn apart between Britain and France to the colonial threat from Britain and France. But then it managed to displace that by doing this self-colonization. It was the colonization of Thainess. Thainess was imposed upon the South. Let's say, and Thainess means Buddhist. Thainess means you must revere and respect, worship the king as a kind of a god. As a Devaraja is semi-divine. Yeah. So that's you know that is it. That to me is that act of colonization, occupation.
But don't you think that is a legitimate violence then? Legitimate fight against this the Thai government?
Oh, you mean the BRNC?
Yeah, because if you're seeing it as a colonization, then it's the right for the people to rise up against colonization.
No, I'm sympathetic, but they use extreme means. I mean, they would kill their own people dressed up in Thai soldiers' outfits. There was stage violence, or they will blame other people. I mean, they do. I mean, there's beheading, killing children, killing women, killing Buddhist monks. It's very. I mean, that is. You can see. Yeah, that is kind of like it's use of terror. It's using terror. I don't call them terrorists. I'm very sympathetic towards. I'm like a red shirt. I support the red shirts. Who were kind of massacred by the Thai state. Yeah, of course. But their violence is extreme violence. You know, bombing, indiscriminate bombs. Fighting against the soldiers and police agents of the state. But how are the monks? They're seen as agents of the state, but they're not. You know, that's they're not really agents of the state, yeah?
I understand, but
Yeah,
you see, such narratives were also used against Hamas, for example, right? And people were questioning their legitimacy in fighting for a free Palestinian state. So what I'm saying is that, like if you look at, based on your map, right? Majority of them, and some like more than 80% of them were Malays. So Southern Thais were basically Malay territory. It was basically part of Malaya at that time.
But yes, but it's complex as the other guy asking the question is not all Malay Muslims, some identify as Thai. They do or see themselves as a Thai Muslim as opposed to Malay Muslim. So it's a diversity there. You can't, be it NRC want to impose their will upon, want to mobilize people. You're all the same, you are the oppressed, you are the colonized, want to decolonize you, but not everybody supports them. You cannot say, they used to say, I don't know who said it, somebody said scratch Malay and underneath you will find a separatist. They used to say this about southern Thailand, but people have multiple and contradictory identities. Another thing they've said about southern Thailand is the ethnic Chinese are the glue that hold the society there together. I think you have Persian people there, you have Pashtuns, you have a whole array of ethnicities there. Because all the traders, Patani in the past was a very important trading port, wasn't it? So if you say it's not simple, do you know what I mean? It's not, yes, that's why I made that point. Not all Malay Muslims are all the same. They don't all identify in one way, but don't all have the same interests, yeah? Like me, as orang Putih, I don't all think the same.
Okay, but I think that, like when you're saying that they're killing other Malays as well,
yes.
I think the actions was actually similar to what Hamas did in Palestine, killing Palestinians. But the Palestinians that were being killed were deemed as collaborators or as spies or agents of the Zionists. So similarly, I believe that in Southern Thai, they were killing Malays who were agents of the Thai government or agents of the militaries. Right, so I do not think that they will kill, civilians. What do you call innocent civilians?
What do you call it? Manafuk, or what is the Arabic word for traitors?
What do you call it?
I can't remember.
Munafiq. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, but okay, maybe on the Malay side, but for the Thais, they killed teacher government officers like the crew, the school teachers, busload of Buddhist people. Yeah, these people are, they're hard to justify. It's a terrorist act to kill them. Yeah, I know. I'm very sympathetic towards them. But I think humans are violent creatures, but I still don't like violence. Okay. Can I go on to the,
Yeah.
So you asked me about the people like Dalai Lama. I think it's because of Thai nationalism that it's almost as though the Buddha was Thai. Really, you see extreme ultra nationalism in Thailand. And the king kind of incarnates. See, the Dhammaraj is saying that the King Bhumibol was almost like a Buddha type figure. There's a whole, other people say, what is the Thai religion? They say, not Buddhism, it's worshipping the king. I think it's true. There's a cult of personality of Bhumibol, and he was above the law. He's above the law. That's the first Thai law. The king is above the law. So he's the position of God. Really. It's like, to me, when I first went to Thai, I thought this is bizarre. I went to Thai naive and thought, this is going to be a nation of Buddhists. But I think, what people, the Brahmanism, the animism, and this cult of the king, what's that got to do with Buddhism? Buddhism is very meritocratic. As you know, Buddhism, I don't know if in Islam, but here, this is the temple. Your heart, mind is where the temple is. Be a good person. It's not about going to the temple You know, it's all in here. Yeah, being a good person. It's not out there. You know, rituals and what have you. But I think in Thailand people like the Dalai Lama, but say it's not Thai. Yeah, it's like the Thai Buddhists, Thais, the Buddha's chosen children.
The third one?
That question.
Oh, that was the legitimacy, wasn't it? Yeah. I think it's imposed. As I was saying to Dr. Faruqi, I think the legitimacy of the BNRC never pointed themselves as the representative of all Malay Muslims needed to be liberated. That's what says the kind of violence there. When you point yourself and say, I speak for all of you, that's not good, is it? And it's a problem in democracy. That's a problem with Western democracy. Our representatives don't represent us, they represent themselves. They don't speak for us, yeah? The problem of anybody standing in, I speak for you, I take, your identity, your best interests. Yeah?
Hi, I'm Manazuri Vizkalaya. Today is a great lecture for me. Thank you, Dr. Tim. And I agree most of your lecture. Then I also agree that you propose a question, there's a freedom of religion or freedom from religion. And I agree with you about we have too much identity, religion, and so on and so on. But even we live as a human being, we put aside religion, we put aside the identity of cultural, but we still have an ideology, everyday life, what you're doing, and how we engage with this problem. Seriously. Thank you.
But I think if we study anthropology, that's what is anthropology. We learn so many different ways of being human. Yeah, anthropology is about how we live together, but we study who says the right way or the wrong way. We're all human. Yeah, there's a diversity there. I believe that there's many truths as well. We're all human. We're on this planet Earth, but there's so many truths, so many different realities. We live in a multiverse or a pluriverse. Similarly, like what it is to be human. Are you getting at what, like existentialism, how do we make sense of existence? Yeah, we do. That's what I guess different cultures and traditions, religions. That's what, to me, why do we have a religion? Because humans say, what is the meaning and purpose of existence? Or more pertinently, as Nietzsche said, why do we suffer? Humans, we cannot bear, there's no meaning or purpose to suffering. So we invent a meaning. We cannot cope with no meaning or no purpose. So, that's why I rather prefer spiritual practice. Religions, but to me, they're neither true nor they're false. They help us to live together, they help us to cope with existence, but is one truer than the other? Are they, how can you say, well, this one, how I evaluate them is consequences. I believe this, what does it lead to you to lead? How do you live your life? What consequences does it have? How do you practice your religion? You're a Buddhist in this way, okay. What does it make possible? What consequences follow? You're Muslim this way, you live your life this way, what happens? You know what I mean? So they're not saying anything goes. It matters how you practice it and the consequences, yeah?
I like to make some comparison of South Asian societies with different countries. So if you look into Malaysia and Thailand, which is very clear, we don't really share the same religion. Buddhism is the main religion in Thailand, and Islam is mainly the main religion in Malaysia and also in Indonesia. But in another way to see it, we do share some similarities. At least, as you've mentioned, royalty is not the main thing in Thailand, and of course in Malaysia as well. At least you got like one king in Thailand. Malaysia we got like how many, 9, 10, lost count. And in fact, in Malaysia they got their own changes every 5 years. There is some democratic element, some like see that way. That is one. But at the same time, what about issues which we've discussed in previous sessions, particularly the first session? There are competing discourses related to religion, particularly on the dominant religion, Islam as an example. we've touched about their views on liberal Islams, their views minority groups like Shia Islam, which is in a way we see as a problem for the majority dominant Muslims, at least from the religious authority point of view. And at the same time, there are new trends coming of atheism, people disbelieving, people want to change religion, things like that. So does that dynamic also happens in Thailand in general?
Yeah, I think the religion of following the king, royalism, has been imposed. A lot of people are unhappy with it. You know, the lèse majesté law, you cannot criticize the monarchy in Thailand for 5 to 15 years in jail if you do question it or ask questions, anything to do with it. But people, you know, that actually it's like, I'd say maybe in Thailand, to be Thai is that not so much to be Buddhist, is to love the king. Yeah? Say what is the fundamental aspect of Thai identity? Do you love the king unconditionally? But that's royalist Thai. That's domination to me. That's been imposed upon people. I think the Thai young people, there is a crisis in Thailand. Thai young people don't go to the temple, they go to the mall, hang out, and just like teenagers, they're into sex, drugs, and rock and roll, aren't they? It's a kind of like, but the Buddhist conservatives construct that as, you know, a moral authority has failed and Buddhism is failing, consumerist religion. I think that Thai society, to me, it's capitalism. There's kind of extreme capitalism, extreme consumerism there. You know, the consumerist religion. So many Thai people said to me, money is my God. And they're not being ironic. And I think, what? You're a Buddhist? You say money is your God? You know, I was shocked by the extreme materialism of Thailand, because consuming, maybe it's like this Malaysian society, but I don't think so much, is like everything to do with prestige and status. So like, you know, like what you are. You've got to have these signs, have these things for giving you prestige and status. Everything to do with appearance. So, I don't know, it's the religion of consumerism versus the religion of the monarchy, but that's going to die out with Rama X, who's not liking Bhumipol or the Buddhist religion. I don't know about I don't know that outside the south how many Thai Muslims there are, but everywhere I go in Thailand, there's mosques. You know, there's a lot of mosques in Bangkok, in Ihsan, in the north, I think everywhere. But it's just the deep south that that's where the conflict has occurred. But it's the state, the violent state, and also who's it? It's Neopajit, isn't it? Who's Malay Muslim Thai lawyer who was assassinated and disappeared. That's what fuels it. The state extrajudicial murders and killing. Yeah. So going back to what you said, no wonder that they fight back. But it's just doing the same. State violence is met with extra legal violence. You know.
If I put it a bit more straightforward.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Is it possible for a Thai village to convert to Muslim officially?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, really, Buddhism is not a religion. You know, it's an ethics. This Buddhadasa wrote a book, Maimi Sasana, no religion. He thought all religions, the core, the central truth is the same. And only when you identify, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Christian, you start creating the suffering and enmity. Yeah, there's no problem. I think, that Buddhists can embrace all religions and see them and respect them, yeah? It's only when it comes nationalist, Buddhist nationalism, which, like with the Rohingya, Wiratu, the 969 movement in Myanmar, that's another form of Buddhist nationalism. The Malay the Muslim is seen as the enemy, the other.
Thank you to Team Rackett. Can we have a big round of applause for him? And it was an illuminating session. Basically, I would like to comment briefly about your comment about consumerism in Thailand. Basically, it's not just in Thailand, it is in the entire world. And Ramadan is approaching and most of the Malay Muslims in Malaysia will convert from Islam to consumerism in the near future. So, surprisingly, that kind of conversion out of Islam is not being prosecuted by the authorities. So, thank you, team. And the next session will be moderated by Afika. Please, Afika.